Now I have to hope that he joins on here. I think it's right. Oh my gosh. there was the option there to, hello. Hello? Can you hear me, Maria? Not yet, but hopefully soon. Maria?
Hello? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Hi. I couldn't hear you at first.
Oh, very good. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I realized I had to admit you. I haven't done this in a while. So how you doing? Congratulations, first of all, on your week.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really exciting because it was 10 pounds, which is not unexpected, right? So I've done this before. I lost
Right.
40 pounds the last
How'd you
time.
do last time we did it? How'd you do your first week on it?
Same thing. It was, and in fact, I'm just anticipating pretty much following the same pattern.
For sure.
You know, where the first week was about 9 pounds, I think, or
Okay.
8 pounds, because I weighed less at the
Okay.
time. And so now it's 10. And then I'm thinking the average after the first week was about between 3 and 4 pounds a week.
Yeah, it's a little light. And what
Yeah.
happens typically is that after that first week of doing really, really well, we just afford ourselves a little extra bite here or a little extra bite there, or something else, because we had such an amazing week, right? So what's one extra little bite going to matter? And the thing is, they just add up over time. So that's part of it. The other part is, I mean, you're right. I mean, all weight loss can be plotted out on a curve. And as you lose more and more weight, as your body gets smaller, you simply don't lose as much weight going forward. But yeah, I think it should be a little bit higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
closer to 5 or 6 pounds. Right?
you know
Somewhere
what,
in there.
you know what, Dr. Lewis, it's like at the end of the day, if it is 3 to 4 pounds, you know, for me, it's kind of helpful to think about it like that. It's more of an acceptance
For sure.
of like, this is going to, it is what it is, right?
It
It's
is
like
what it is. And here's the thing, no matter what it is, if it's anything that's in the negative direction, if you've lost any weight at all, it's a great thing, as long as the process getting there wasn't that overbearing. It wasn't really that bad. As long as you're just not, that hungry, if you're not craving more food, who cares how long it takes? Who cares how much weight you lose each week, right? Hello? Oh, did I lose you? Oh no.
Yeah, I did. I'm so sorry. I was getting another call, and
Oh,
then
okay, sorry.
I've actually never done Zoom on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
Well,
kind of
welcome. I
new.
like your balloon.
Yeah. It's like I thought, well, you know, I'm not really ready to be, because I know these calls are recorded.
They are.
So
I'm recording this one, unless you don't want me to for some reason, and then I
no,
can just keep it private.
yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I'm fine because the thing is that I found it really helpful
Okay.
to watch other people's
Right,
chat.
and vice versa. They'll benefit from what we say tonight. So great.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so I mean, so the way I look at it is, you know, if it's okay with you, I'm
For sure.
calling in for the next 28 weeks, because that's what I figured how long it's going to take me to get this done.
Okay.
And the thing is, if I'm wrong, then great, then I get it done earlier. But
Exactly right. Exactly right.
yeah,
I love it. And
yeah.
as long, once again, as long as what you're doing is comfortable, who cares how long it takes? Right?
Well, no, it's not comfortable.
Well, I don't like
It's
that. So tell me about that.
and it was the same thing last time. So
Okay.
I struggled to get those 40 pounds off last time. I never really hit that point of, at first I was struggling with my bite size, right?
Okay.
So I thought, well, maybe I need some consistency here, you know?
Okay.
So I picked 2 meals. I forgot exactly what, I think they were frozen meals.
Okay.
And okay, I'm going to have this meal at this time and this meal at that time, keep
Okay.
it exactly the same, so
Okay.
that even if I go over bite wise, you know, I'll still at least have some kind of portion control built in,
Okay.
and consistency, right? Because for me, that's important. I kind of like to eat at the exact time. It makes it
I think
easy,
it's brilliant. Yeah, it's really
right?
good.
So it makes it easier for me. So then I did that, and that's when I actually started moving. And I'll say that it's definitely easier than it was the first 3 days now. You know, the
Okay.
first 3 days were a lot more difficult, but I'm still really I'm really hungry in the
So
morning.
we haven't completely settled yet. That's fine. Your hunger set hasn't completely settled. Um, on fine. So and here's the other thing. It's not like the hunger goes away completely. And you're certainly going to get hungry right before your meals. but you should find that you fill up really quickly. That yes, of course you could eat more after you finish your 5 bites, but 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you're really not even thinking about food. So
Oh,
it's
totally. That's the case now. Yes, that after I'm done eating is fine. I really struggle the most like dinner time. I
okay.
really I have trouble controlling my bite size at dinner. Like my lunch, it's like I'm half a sandwich, steady, it's the same thing. I can get it done, the 5 bites, it's done. But the burger in the evening,
Right. It's hard.
it's been a challenge, to get that exactly right. Like
I
I
hear
don't
you. Who
think
do you eat with?
usually by myself.
Okay.
I'll feed my daughter first.
Okay.
So and then I just pretty much eat by myself because my husband works usually days and nights.
Okay. And
So
how old's your daughter?
she's 7.
Oh, okay. So she really doesn't care how much you eat.
Yeah, no, she does not.
And then what do? Do you make a burger or do you usually go out and buy one or?
No, they're frozen. I buy frozen. They're the Great Value, the like the Walmart brand.
Okay. Here's the only thing about, just eating the burger. It's
Mm.
definitely not a 5 bite meal in my mind.
No, no, no. It's my goal is to eat half of that burger.
Oh, okay. So maybe not even a half. So again, I mean, I hate, definitive volumes. I like
Mhm.
really just settling on bites and eating 5 bites. And when you've had your 5th bite, you're done, no matter how big or small, but just really get into the rhythm of 5 equally sized bites. And you're really just you're going for the flavor. You're going for the flavor and the volume, but flavor more than anything, and volume. I mean, I shouldn't say that it's just flavor, but I want you to think of flavor in terms of like the amount that you're eating. We're not eating big bites, and I don't want you to eat half of something because half looks like it's 5 bites. I literally just want you to take 5 tastes of it and then be done with it.
I struggled so much to control my bite size when I
Okay.
first did this, and I was just I had calculated at one point that I was eating because I do come from counting calories type
Right.
of background, right? So it's like I got up to like 100 calories a bite at one point
Wow.
because my bites were absolutely massive because I was just
Right.
absolutely starving,
And
and
I
so it
see.
was just a hunger thing.
How
And
much?
so
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
keep going.
it's just I tried to that's when I came up with this idea, like why don't I eat the exact same thing
I
at the
like it.
exact same time,
I like it.
because kind of like corralling, myself,
I'm
putting
fine with that. And you know
yeah.
what? I mean, to be honest, I mean, you did great last week. So I'm very, very pleased, very happy, and very comfortable with you doing the exact same thing next week and whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because like I said, if it takes me, the 5, 6 months that I think it's going to take me, then fine. If it's faster, then great. But it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
my mind, I feel better
I
kind of
love it.
resigning myself.
And for sure, as time goes on, for sure, this is going to get easier and easier and easier, both
Mhm.
in terms of doing it and in terms of hunger. It's just going to get a lot easier as time goes on. Just try not to rock the boat too much.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And what are you drinking?
Mainly coffee.
Great.
Um,
Love it.
like so a couple of big mugs of coffee
Great.
usually, but lately I've been adding some Diet Mountain Dew in there too, because that has the caffeine in it.
Hmm. You
So
add Diet Mountain Dew to your coffee?
no, 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 no. I'm to the
Oh,
liquid rotation.
oh,
You
okay. I was going to say that's kind of a strange flavor. Never thought
No,
about
no,
doing that. No, okay.
no. I just like add. I've been having like a Diet Mountain Dew, one Diet Mountain Dew in the evening.
I'm good with that. I think that's fine. And obviously it worked for the first week, right? So it worked really good. Once again, I mean, whatever you did the first week, the key would be to just do that again week after week after week. And yes,
Right.
your weight loss will fall off a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, I think you're going to do great.
I hope so. I hope so. But like I said, like I guess it helps me to think, okay, worst case scenario based on how I did last time,
Right,
and looking at what I did last time, it's like, okay, probably 3 to 4. If it's 3 pounds, I won't be disappointed this week.
right,
It is what it is. So
right. So I guess that's a good way of looking at it. And yeah, you can't be disappointed with any kind of progress. And certainly it's more than a lot of people will ever do on any other diet. So I think that's great. Again, for me though, is that we settle into a groove that's comfortable, and then you can just a rhythm that's, really comfortable, so that you're happy just doing the exact same thing day in and day out until we're done.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what happened last time, after 40 pounds down?
Well, I was laid off from my job
Oh
at the
yeah, so
beginning
sorry.
of the pandemic. So that was not fun. And then unfortunately, then the schools here kind of shut down in terms of
Right.
in-person learning. So then I had to take over homeschooling my daughter.
Okay.
And 2
Just
years later,
stressful.
yes, extremely. And the thing is that my husband works days and nights.
Got it.
So
Wow.
that is
Does he ever,
so
does he work 24 hours a day?
no, no, no. He has it's Sundays off and then
Okay.
Thursdays.
Okay.
But usually he takes that time to rest too because he works so many hours in the middle,
Oh, yeah. That's just crazy.
So yeah, yeah. So basically I've spent the last 2 years kind of doing 24-hour caretaking sort of,
Okay.
which
Okay.
was not anticipated at all.
Is your daughter back in school?
She just started 2 weeks ago.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's good.
so that's why I thought, okay, let me just get back on track,
Great.
And I had tried even before she went back. It's like I 6 months ago, I tried Noom, which is
And I'd love to hear what you think about that.
I don't think it's effective. I don't think
Huh.
Weight Watchers is effective, which I've done in the past. I don't think Noom is effective long term. I don't think even
But
short
Noom
term.
is like it's a psychological attack,
Yes,
right?
they kind of integrate everything like portion control, psychology, healthy eating. They kind of, exercise, they kind of throw everything in. And I actually gained 10 pounds
I see.
during the time that I was doing Noom.
Just got too complicated, too much going on.
Right, because you
All
can eat large amounts of healthy food.
right. Got it.
And the thing is that my biggest struggle recently has been my appetite. It's like even after I did Noom for 3 months, I tried a different program called Real Appeal,
Okay.
which was through my insurance company, or they have a contract with my insurance company.
Okay.
So it's the same thing, similar to Noom, but they actually have one-on-one coaching.
Got it.
In addition to that,
And how did that work for you?
that was it was because Noom actually has one-on-one coaching, but
Okay.
it's basically almost like it's almost like a chat bot,
Okay.
that the people don't say very much and you won't hear from them for over a week,
Right.
sometimes. Whereas the Real Appeal, it was more, I did have one, because you have to schedule actual one-on-one visits with the
Okay.
coach on Real Appeal. And basically she just kind of didn't tell me much. She didn't want to jump ahead of the program at the time.
I see.
So it's almost like, well, just follow the program and you'll be fine. Well, I gained more weight with
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
So it's like at the end of the day, I've just I don't know my appetite is just it just got to the point where it's just
Right. Well, your body's just expecting so much carbon. And if you don't give it that, you're going to be hungry. And until you've reset your hunger stat, and it's just the way that it is. Right. And
well,
it
the
really
thing is,
doesn't.
my weight was going up and up and up. In
Right.
fact, that's why I'm so determined this time to finish my 6 months and
Perfect.
get the weight to where it needs to be,
Yeah.
because I'm terrified with what happened to me, where it's like I easily saw myself, okay, in about a year, I'm going to weigh 300 pounds and I'm
Right.
going to have to go in for bariatric surgery.
I totally
So
hear you.
if I don't,
But think about that first week that you did. I mean, that alone gives you confidence that you've got control after after everything that's done. I mean, you thought you were doing the right things, right? Following these programs, Noom and whatever, and yet you still were gaining weight. But here you finally have a sense of, all right, this is something that I do, and if I just stick with it, I can get to the result that I want, right?
right. My concern, like with when I've sent you messages, is the maintenance portion of this.
Oh, that's going to be easy. I promise you. But you've got to wait until we get there. I just want you to fight tooth and nail to get across that finish line. And then trust me, life from then on out is just glorious. It's easy, it's smooth, it's glorious.
Because my lowest weight as an adult was 128 pounds.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Okay. Close to your goal.
Right, close, like right. So I mean, and it wasn't necessarily easy at that time. I kind of had to work to.
But it will be different this time because you understand so much more about fat cells, eating, the danger of the fat cells. See, it's hard to restrict your eating when you can't imagine that the extra food that you're taking in is doing your body any harm. But when you realize how much damage it does, even subconsciously, you'll play a balancing game where, is it worth taking the extra bites knowing that it really could lead to an earlier demise? And it's all going on a subconscious level, but you'll realize, I really don't want it, or I don't need it, or I don't, yes, it would be good, but I've had that 1,000 times in my past. I'm going to have it 1,000 times again in the future. I'll just leave it on the plate. And then you do leave it on the plate, and your feeling is reinforced because it feels really good to have control that nobody else has, and you feel good. And you're not hungry for more. You're like, I did that, and I got rid of it. And I really didn't need it, and I was able to successfully put the food in. It's a positive feed forward system whirlwind that you fall into that it'll keep you thin once we're there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also remember a couple other things that I always mention these, right? Number one, ideally you're going to be full on your 5 bites when you get the job done. Number two, you're without the fat on the extra fat on your body, you're simply going to lose your hunger, which is great. And then number three, your metabolism is a lot faster when you're at your thinnest. So for all those reasons, it's going to be pretty easy to maintain it once we're there.
Oh my goodness, that's music to my ears, but I also, in my mind, it kind of helps me to think about it like obesity as a chronic, lifelong illness, in the
Right.
sense, if I don't manage it actively, it can happen again.
For sure. And what
I
you just said is exactly right. I mean, we're all so susceptible living in America today to becoming obese. There's no doubt about it. If we just, followed in line with what we're supposed to do and the way we're supposed to eat, follow everybody else, we're all going to be obese. There's no way around it, right? It's just all about portion size. They continue to grow.
Yep.
And I mean, even, my animal, my dog, I guarantee you, if I gave it an unlimited supply of food, which unfortunately is the reality today, there's food everywhere and it's just free half the time and it's just everywhere and there are large volumes of it. But if I gave my dog everything that she wanted, I mean, the little puggle, which is right now about 20 pounds, I swear it would weigh 80 pounds. It'd be the heaviest dog on the planet. The thing will not stop eating. She's great. I call her the thing, but she will not stop eating. Right. I mean, if it weren't up to us, restricting her diet, she'd be massive. I think most animals are probably that way. And I think it is across that way, just across the natural world. The reality is though that animals in nature are limited by their availability to food. There just isn't food everywhere. Right. And so that's the bottom line. But for us humans, food is everywhere. And as a result, and it's good and it's fun. And we put so much emphasis into enjoying food and the everything else that surrounds it and making it such a big production that we seek it and we love it and we love everything about it and we love the company and everything goes along with it. And the more time we spend at it, the better, the more fun we're having. So we just eat. And there's no way in the world that our bodies can handle it. Once again, there's no carbon that ends up in your poop. It's all absorbed and stored on the inside. I mean, I shouldn't say that. There is carbon in your poop, but never from the stuff that you ate. That's from the biliary tree that it re-enters the GI tract. Okay. So, I mean, it's just crazy, but that's just the reality that we are faced with. So knowing that there's just way too much food and there always will be, we just have to learn how to manage it. So in a sense, you're right. We all are technically obese, or have the tendency to become that way, but we all also have the ability to control it. And that's what you're mastering the control techniques now. Now, here's the reality. Once you're thin, you're all the way thin like I am, there will be days when you will eat way too much. I mean, massive volumes of food. And you'll regret it. It'll hurt, it'll be uncomfortable, and you'll feel horrible, and you'll be sorry you did. And no big deal, because you also can lose at that point. It's not like you can never just pig out again. Of course you can. but once again, you'll be doing so with control, because you'll feel so bad when this happens. I mean, just speaking from my own experience,
Mhm.
you'll feel so bad when it happens that you won't even want to eat the next day, and you'll be comfortable eating just 5 bites. So maybe you 5 bite the next day or two, and you're right back on track.
And that's what I was thinking, like maybe setting it, it would be constructive just in case things don't function normally for me as they're supposed to, maybe say, okay, if I go past 130, let's say, I
Right?
need to get on 5 bite, on 5 bite. I need to do something like
Exactly.
it's an emergency,
Totally.
basic
I love
point.
that. That's exactly right. Even if your hunger tells you otherwise, I mean, sometimes you're like, oh my God, but I want to eat so much more so badly. But if you do that, you just put the brakes on, you say, I'm just not going to allow myself to go over this number, you will always do great. And then the more you do not allow yourself to go above that number, the more as time goes on and the more experience you have with controlling and confining the amount that you weigh, you're going to find that it just becomes so easy and so natural,
Mhm,
despite the fact that there are times when you still will eat way, way, way too much. Yeah,
mhm. So then it might involve a resetting process, right? Where it's like, you go kind of over and then you kind of get used to being around the lower weight.
you do. You'll see. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
going to work out really nicely once we're there.
But it's funny because the media isn't getting any better, like in terms of the seductiveness, like the way that they like the
For
TV
sure.
shows with food and the presentation. I saw a show the other night. They had stacked 15 burger patties in a single burger,
Right?
and they had the melting
It
cheese.
actually looked good, right?
It did. It looked
Yeah.
fabulous. And I turned to my husband and I said, you know what? It's like I'm trying. I could probably if I sliced it like a gyro, I could probably get a week's worth of normal portions out of
Good
that
food
thing.
out of that. That's right.
Yeah.
It's exactly true. So you just
Mhm.
sort of have to blaze your own trail, and and just do it. And then the rest of your family will follow suit too, and they'll fall in line, and everyone will get really healthy, and it's just a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So
Okay.
so 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 I love everything. I love the path that you're on, and you got just let's just see how quickly we can get to the finish line. Just keep doing what you're doing, but
Mhm.
try not to have too many, I don't know, try not to slip too much along the way. I mean,
Right.
you have a few days or, where certain events happen, you'll probably slip a little bit, but just try and stay the course as much as you can for as long as you can. And let's just get this thing done as quickly as we can,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Yep.
The Again, I want you to start enjoying the process itself, the just living a 5 bite lifestyle. It sounds crazy, but I really want you to get into it and really enjoy it.
No,
Enjoy
like
the bites.
even mentally, like they had certain dishes on this show that were
Okay.
just gargantuan, that were just monstrosities. It was like fries with mac and cheese and you
And
know,
they advertise it as a weight loss.
no, 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 no. This was an actual food show. It's called
Okay.
Places to Pig Out or something like that.
Oh,
It's kind of
okay.
like Man versus Food or some of the like all the food shows that they have
I
on this
see.
particular channel. And so they had this thing, this monster sandwich, and I was just playing a game in my mind, like thinking, well, where would I cut that thing to get the maximum, just the maximum flavor
Right.
and be done, you
I,
know?
that's part of the challenge sometimes with eating, because you're going to be faced with a lot of amazing food. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to take 5 bites of this. I want to try and get all of this in 5 bites, but how am I going to do it? That's part of the trick. Makes it kind of fun. It actually adds a little bit of excitement to your meals.
It does, and it gives you that objectivity where you can step back and be like, okay, this is not doing me in. I'm
That's right.
under, I have control, you know?
I'm that's exactly right.
Mhm.
So did somebody actually on the show eat that food?
No, no, but they just had the lights on the sandwich, like with the special lighting. It was like the princess of the of the place. It was just like
Got it.
the how they focus on the presentation of the food, and
Right.
making it as just delectable looking as
Yep.
possible is just
It makes it
amazing.
tough, doesn't it? There are
It does.
so many temptations out there. There really are. But you just got to believe me on this, because I've been in both shoes. It just, the temptations really dwindle as we get thin. It just happens. You're going to love so much just the feeling of being thinner and sharper and cleaner. You're going to love it so much that yes, you will still love food, but you just won't crave the extra bites. Once you're full, you're like, I'm good. I just don't want more. You really won't want more once your hunger stat sets.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's
the
get there and
future is
let's
bright.
find out. Yeah. And is this typical now? Because I've noticed that there are not that many people on the forum at the moment. Is there
It's not,
there's
it's
a
not
lull?
typical. So to be honest with you, it's not typical for me. This is the first time in like 3 or 4 years that it's been this quiet. But the way I look at it is fine. Then it's you and me, and you have a personal coach, and I'm always available, and I'm here by your side, and I'll help you out whenever, and get this thing done.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really
So,
appreciate it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I wish there were more people, just because I think that, the numbers. I think that the more members, they help each other, and I think, but I'm fine. But I'm just here for whomever. So if
Learn-
it's one person, or if it's 15 people, or if it's 30 people, I don't care. I mean, I'm just here for whomever's here.
Mhm.
So
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
absolutely. So it sounds like you've gotten off to a great start. So I'm really curious to see how next week goes.
Yeah, like I said,
Aren't you-
I'm gonna think 3 pounds because I'm just gonna keep it exactly the same. So
But I don't want you to subconsciously eat so that you only lose 3 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's gonna happen. I look at because my mindset is more like this is a prison sentence that I'm in.
Okay.
I got to do this for 6 months,
Okay.
and if I'm not consistent, it's just gonna lengthen my time in the Hooskow.
So again, just understanding it's going to take some time. Who knows how long, but it's going to take months, maybe. So
Right. It's
let's
100
just,
pounds. I mean, it's 100 pounds. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah. So let's just settle into the enjoyment of always eating a perfect 5 bites for a meal. That's the way I look at it. A perfect 5 bites for lunch and a perfect 5 bites for dinner. And you're not eating to fill up per se. I mean, obviously I want you to eat the exact amounts that you are sufficiently full after each meal, but you're eating to taste the food. And maybe that'll help you prevent, letting your bite sizes grow and grow and grow to, consciously or subconsciously satisfy more of your hunger. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I would do it. Or if for example, that half of a burger is 5 bites, fine. Then go ahead and eat half of a burger. Or I always like Snickers bars because that's a 5-bite meal. You could have any bar for that matter. And we know that's a 5-bite meal. So have one of those for lunch or dinner from time to time and just sort of mix it up and enjoy your bites. Maybe you go and have a really nice sit down meal. Now comes the challenge. Now's the puzzle. How do I, get through this meal in just 5 perfect bites? It's a fun game. It's exciting. It's crazy. It's hard, but you
Yeah,
can
I
do
told
it.
my husband I'm out.
What's that?
I told my husband I'm out. Like I'm sticking to my sandwich and my burger. And
Perfect.
if the event doesn't involve those 2 things, I'm out. I mean,
I-
I'll go out to the car, I'll have the burger, eat in the car, and then come, you know what I
Go
mean?
back
It's
and
like,
enjoy the company. I hear you. I think that's perfect. I think that's great.
yeah,
So is
just to
he
make sure
supportive
that
of what you're doing?
extremely, yes.
Great.
He's very supportive. And
I love it.
I'm helping him because normally he uses salads. And
Right.
so I've been making his salads.
Okay.
But he fell off the wagon this week. And so
Okay.
he's kind of frustrated and he's like, well, how's your thing going? It's like, well, I lost 10 pounds. Oh, well, that's awesome,
Yeah, exactly. Just keep in mind, I mean, I always use this, right? But the largest animals on our planet are herbivores. All they eat are salad.
Right. Yes.
I mean, an
Like,
elephant's 15,000 pounds and it eats nothing but leaves, right? And it
yeah.
maintains that way. So it's not so much what you're eating, it's volume. It's all about the volume because carbon is in everything. Right. And then the one thing that I really try and curtail your choice on it are liquids, because we can dissolve an enormous amount of carbon in liquid form, and there's just no way of measuring it. There's no way of keeping track of it.
Yes.
So that's why really try and stick to water and coffee as much as possible. Okay, a diet Mountain Dew 1 a day is not going to hurt you.
Right. Yeah, and I had seen prior chats. You seemed okay with having a little bit, like a teaspoon of half and half in the coffee.
Yeah.
Is that all
just-
right?
But yeah, just again, just be careful. I mean, if I give you too many concessions, they start adding up. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I measure it. I don't even estimate the teaspoon. I literally take out a teaspoon
That's
and
fine.
yeah.
That's perfect. That's fine. Yep, it's all good.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So you're doing good. All
Thank you
right.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll be in touch throughout the week. And then let's do this again on next Monday. Get another
Okay.
set of chats going. Does that sound good?
All right. Sounds great. Yeah.
I
All
love
right.
it.
See you next week.
All right. You have a great week. Take care.
You too.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.